And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, and I fell upon my face. Just imagine for a second witnessing a cosmic vision so vast, so terrifyingly immense, that your actual physical body just gives out. You collapse under the sheer weight of it. You are entirely undone by the scale of what is placed right in front of your eyes. Well, that dark, overwhelming dread? That is exactly where our journey begins today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are unpacking a mesmerizing, deeply ancient apocalyptic text known as the Third Parable. Now, this isn't just some simple historical parable. It is a sweeping, highly cinematic vision. It's literally filled to the brim with primordial monsters, the hidden clockwork mechanics of the heavens, and the heavy, inescapable weight of divine judgment.
Part 1. The Heavenly Secrets.
So our descent into this vision starts way up high in the celestial realm. But before we get completely lost in the clouds, the text actually grounds us with a highly specific timestamp. This monumental vision was granted in the 500th year, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the life of Enoch. It anchors this wild, otherworldly revelation right into a specific moment of a patriarch's timeline. It's telling us that this staggering cosmic truth broke through into our reality on one very specific day.
Now, you might be wondering how the ancients viewed the weather. Well, look at how the esoteric elements of the world are broken down here. In this cosmology, the atmosphere isn't just some random mix of gases and temperatures. No, every single weather event is governed by specific angels and spirits. Look at this breakdown. Frost has its own special spirit and ascends like smoke. Mist has this glorious course through light and dark and possesses its own special chamber. Dew dwells at the extreme ends of heaven, intimately connected to the rain. And rain itself, it's strictly measured by the Most High. It functions as physical nourishment for the earth, literally let out by angels who open its chamber. Nothing is random here. Everything is strictly governed.
And this perfectly illustrates the terrifying order of this cosmos. Even raw, explosive forces like lightning and thunder are held back by bridles. They are weighed, divided, and executed with absolute divine precision. The text tells us that thunder and lightning are inseparable, right? Yet they are divided by the Spirit, paused, and pushed forward across the earth. The treasury of their peals is described as being like sand, just vast and innumerable, yet every single peal is turned back and directed exactly as the Lord of Spirits commands.
Part 2. The Primordial Monsters.
So, transitioning our narrative down from those swirling, mechanized heavens, we reach the earthly and abyssal realms, where two massive, ancient entities are just waiting in the dark. The text reveals this awe-inspiring division of the world's most terrifying beasts. On one side, we have Leviathan. She is a female monster dwelling deep in the abysses of the ocean, positioned ominously over the very fountains of the waters. On the other side, we've got Behemoth, a massive male monster occupying the dry, waste wilderness. We learn that they were parted on a single day, prepared conformably to the greatness of God, waiting for the time when they will eventually feed.
And the text actually gives us the mystical geography of Behemoth's domain, a waste wilderness called Dudaim. Now get this, it sits right on the east of the garden where the elect and righteous dwell. That's the very place where Enoch's grandfather was taken up. It paints a really vivid picture of a world where divine sanctuary and terrifying, monstrous desolation exist right next door to each other, separated by lines that only the heavens fully comprehend.
Part 3. The Elect One Returns.
As we move forward, the atmosphere grows noticeably heavier. We reach the ultimate cosmic event of this vision. Just listen to the gravity of this line. For from the beginning, the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in the presence of his might, and revealed him to the elect. This introduces a profound mystery, a hidden ruler, kept entirely secret in the presence of ultimate power since the dawn of time, who is finally stepping out from the shadows into the light.
The Lord of Spirits places this elect one on the throne of glory. The spirit of righteousness is poured out upon him, and his power is absolute. He doesn't need to wage some long drawn-out war. The text says that the very word of his mouth slays all the sinners. All the unrighteous are destroyed simply from before his face. He sits to judge all works above in the heaven, weighing every single deed in an uncompromising balance.
Part 4. Judgment of the Mighty.
This leads us right to the visceral judgment that falls specifically upon the arrogant, those who currently hold the power on earth. The juxtaposition here is striking. The righteous are granted eternal peace, sure, but the kings,
When they suddenly see the Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory, the realization is agonizing. The text says, "Pain shall come upon them as on a woman in travail when her child enters the mouth of the womb." It is sudden, it is unavoidable, and it is deeply excruciating. They look upon each other terrified, their countenances totally downcast.
Let's walk through this timeline together to see how this builds from absolute power to absolute despair. We start in the first era, where kings possess and rule the earth completely. Then the revelation hits. They see and finally recognize the throne of glory and the hidden Son of Man. Come Judgment Day, these once proud rulers fall on their faces to worship. They literally beg and supplicate for just a little respite from the angels of punishment. But in eternity, it's too late. The Lord of Spirits presses them. They are driven away hastily, and their faces are just filled with utter shame and deepening darkness.
The text shares their dark, final confession. Our souls are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Sheol. All that earthly wealth, all the power, all the unrighteous gain they hoarded in life absolutely cannot save them from the crushing weight of divine punishment. It is a chilling reminder, really, that no amount of worldly influence can shield us from ultimate accountability.
So, the dichotomy at the end of days is incredibly stark. The righteous are clothed in eternal garments of glory that will never grow old. They eat, lie down, and rise up with the Son of Man in endless light. Conversely, the sinners, the mighty who oppress the elect, are delivered to angels of punishment, where the sword of vengeance is literally drunk with their blood. It's the ultimate terrifying rebalancing of the cosmic scales.
Part 5. The Fallen Angel's Legacy.
Now, just as the vision seems to reach its bloody conclusion, a much darker origin of human sin awaits us. It poses a pivotal question. If the kings of the earth were so deeply corrupted, if humanity had fallen so far into sin and arrogance, who was truly responsible for planting those seeds of corruption in the first place? Where did the ruin actually begin?
The ultimate twist is revealed in verse 80. Enoch sees other forms hidden in that place. The angel confirms that these hidden forms are the fallen angels, the ones who originally descended to earth. And they didn't just passively watch us. As the text outlines in earlier chapters, figures like Azazel brought the literal tools of destruction. Azazel acted as the master of the forge, teaching early humans to make swords, knives, shields, and breastplates, violently sparking the first fires of war. But the corruption wasn't just warfare. He introduced the art of vanity and illusion, showing humanity how to use antimony to beautify the eyelids, crafting bracelets, and using costly gemstones to alter their appearance. Meanwhile, other watchers like Semzaza and Barakajal brought their own forbidden secrets, teaching enchantments, root cutting, and astrology. They actively seduced humanity through these dark arts. And the cost? Impiety exploded, the world plunged into chaos, and as men perished, their desperate cry went up to heaven. The arrogant kings of the earth? They were ultimately just pawns. It was the fallen angels themselves who ignited this entire apocalyptic nightmare.
So I leave you with this. If the mechanics of the heavens are this fiercely guarded, if the primordial monsters are just waiting in the dark to feed, and if ancient fallen entities have been manipulating humanity from the shadows all along, what other dark truths remain hidden in the abyss? I'll let you ponder that. Thank you for joining me on this explainer.